Fatima Manji, well, we can now bring you our main story this evening, those extraordinary scenes on the Korean peninsula. It's the most secretive society on earth, but North Korea knows how to stage a military parade. Tens of thousands of soldiers have marched through the capital, Pyongyang, with an entire arsenal of weapons, while fighter jets and helicopters swooped overhead. And it wasn't just to honour the country's young leader, Kim Jong-un, but to mark the 60th anniversary of the truce which ended the Korean War. When the conflict ended in 1953, the country split in two. The North, backed by communist China and Russia, the pro-Western South by the United States. Between them, a demilitarised buffer zone to help maintain the fragile peace, because each side still claims sovereignty over the other. Our Asia correspondent John Sparks is one of the very few Western journalists allowed to witness events in Pyongyang, and the only person to try asking Kim Jong-un himself for a message to the West.
As the clock struck 10 on the most important day of the year, victory was proclaimed in North Korea. They've been doing it like this for the last 60 years, since the armistice was signed with South Korea. And on this side of the border, it's cause for celebration. For the third time in 3 days, the North Korean leader, Kim Jong-un, stepped out in public. This a change of sorts his father, Kim Jong-il, was rarely seen. And with the great marshal in position, the parade began in earnest. It was designed to impress, both at home and abroad. But not everything was as it seemed. The sound of cheering crowds had been pre-recorded. Some band members didn't seem to be playing their instruments, and bits of soldiers' gear looked suspect, like these plastic-looking grenades.
A lot of the weaponry and equipment look pretty old to me, but they've been masked for maximum psychological effect, and the intention is clear. This is a show of strength, or the projection of strength.
The most important part of North Korea's arsenal, not the tanks or mobile missiles, but the people. Hundreds of thousands of near-hysterical people pledging loyalty to the country's leadership. The time then came for the marshal to say farewell.
There he is, Kim Jong-un, on the balcony, being given a rapturous reception by the people down below. It's quite a scene.
Down in the stands, people told us the parade had proved a point, that North Korea was invincible.
The message is clear. Even though other socialist countries have collapsed, we are strong and can repel any attack.
Next up on Victory Day, the opening of the country's new war museum. It's an extravagant affair, a shrine to the North Korean military, and they put it up in a year. There were plenty of foreign guests in attendance, and Kim Jong-un as well, who came to inaugurate the complex. He then took a tour of the museum, and we followed his entourage inside, up past the giant statue of his grandfather and the nation's founder, Kim Il-sung. In the process, Channel 4 News became the first news organization to ask the North Korean leader a question.
Kim Jong-un, Channel 4 News UK, what message are you trying to send to the West?
He didn't respond, so we asked some foreign guests what they were doing in this isolated, sanction-hit nation.
Why have you come today? Why have you come for this event?
We're guests of corporations.
Oh, okay. Which corporation is that? I'm just wondering why you don't want to talk to me. You've got a North Korean pin on. Are you representing the government? You don't want to speak to me?
Victory Day went out with a bang, with a huge fireworks display in the capital. And the leadership will be happy tonight. North Korea may be poor, but it can put on a lavish display. John Sparks, Channel 4 News, Pyongyang, North Korea.